Hi, this is Sean Doss, and the assessment that I chose are student response systems. This is a tool I've desired to use for a while in my classroom. What is a student response system? It's like a clicker. This assessment tool involves using handheld remote devices that work either by infrared or radio frequency. Each student has a remote and chooses an answer choice, which is most often in the form of a multiple choice question and directly appears on the teacher's computer. The computer corrects and tabulates the data, so the teacher has instant information for making timely instructional choices for their students. How technology incorporates this assessment into learning is by creating active learning so that the students have an active role in their learning. They're engaged throughout the class instruction and discussions with the use of these tools. This makes learning with the clicker similar to playing a game, and it makes their learning interactive. Every student gets to be involved at the same time instead of calling on students one at a time. Students have a safer environment and that they are anonymous when they answer each question. They don't have to wonder or be nervous whether they have answered correctly or what others may think about them and their answer choice. Voting type questions would be more accurate, as students would not be able to look around to see who is voting for which answer. They should be used for more than just taking a quiz at the end of a lesson. Higher level thinking skills should be used after allowing class discussions before voting. Teachers need to be smart about when to display the results of voting or questions, responses, to give more time for students to process their responses, and this leads to higher level thinking. Results from assessment should drive the teacher's instruction. The response devices allow for instant feedback and are a way to determine if more than the students called upon know the correct answer to their questions. Multi-choice answers can be answered more easily. True-false questions can be used as well as short answer and polls for voting. A lot depends on the simplicity or complexity of the system. Games like Jeopardy and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire are two examples of how the clickers can be used and implemented with game-like quizzing and learning. Use as quick checkouts during instruction for keeping students on task, or as a ticket out the door activity, or for quizzes and tests. The assessment tool tracks students' progress instantly. The computer can sum up the answers sent in by the students, so the teacher can see in real time the student's knowledge of the question as a class, as well as how individual students do on each question. Students are able to input their answers from a test without wasting paper. And the information is graded, giving the teacher instant feedback to how to plan for the next lesson or who may need extra help. Students can see if they're on the right track in their understanding and be able to ask and clarify their answers and understanding when seeing how they answered on the questions presented. What is the cost of the program? To run the system, the class needs a computer, a projector for larger classes, the software, a receiver, and clickers for each student. Most systems come with 24 clickers. If a class is larger, more clickers can be purchased, or students may need to share. On the other hand, parts and individual clickers can cost $20 to $100. The competition between companies, different regions, and different abilities between types of clickers affect the cost. Another cost is the need to buy batteries for the clickers. There may be discounts that are available for schools that purchase multiple sets of systems for more than one class at a time. There are benefits and disadvantages for the use of these systems. The biggest disadvantage is the cost, as they are quite pricey. Also, there could be technical issues in the classroom that may have to be dealt with. The advantages outweigh the cost of the fund if the funds are available or if the systems can be donated. Teachers can quickly see and give help where needed. They can adjust their lessons and motivate students by making their lessons more interactive. The tool helps students get involved in their learning process. They can see what they know and what they don't know yet to adjust their thinking process before those ideas are cemented into their memories. So in conclusion, clickers are not about the technology, but about the pedagogical learning. Used in a meaningful way, this assessment tool can engage students actively in their learning, and it creates a safer environment as well as gives instant feedback for the teacher and the student.